Claire's first credit card had a limit of £1,200. 6 years later, the limit was £8,000. She never asked for a single increase. The bank offered everyone. Today, the balance on that card is around £7,400. The limit is £8,000. She has never missed a payment, not once, in 6 years. Every month, the minimum goes out on time. By the bank's records, Claire is a good customer. But one evening in March, she sat down and did something she had been avoiding. She compared two statements, a year apart. 12 months of payments, 12 months of never being late. And the balance had barely moved. Most of what she had paid had gone on interest and charges. The debt itself was nearly untouched. For 6 years, the minimum payment had felt like proof she was coping. It went out on time. The bank never complained. That evening was the first time she saw what the minimum actually was. Not progress, maintenance. She wasn't reckless. That is the part worth sitting with. This story does not need recklessness to happen. It starts with a decision most people would call sensible. 6 years ago, Claire applied for one credit card. The limit was £1,200. It was for emergencies, a car repair, a vet bill. The kind of month where the timing goes wrong. She used it carefully and she paid it down. And, for a while, that was that. Then the first letter arrived. It opened with the word, "Congratulations." Her credit limit had been increased to £2,500. She hadn't asked, she hadn't applied. The bank had looked at her account and decided, on its own, that she could be trusted with more. It felt good. Being trusted usually does. She didn't use the new room. Not at first. But life kept arriving. Christmas went on the card one year. The boiler went another year. Then there was a stretch where the card quietly became the buffer, the gap between the pay packet and the month. Not big purchases, just drift. And every so often, another letter came. 4,000, 5,500, 6,800, 8,000. 5 increases in 6 years. She never requested one of them. Here is the strange part. By the time the later increases arrived, Claire was carrying a real balance, and each new limit didn't feel like temptation. It felt like relief. More space between the number she owed and the ceiling above it. Breathing room. But breathing room on a credit card is not free. Earlier this year, the average advertised rate on a UK credit card reached 35.8%. The highest since records began in 2006. Every pound of that room she used was borrowed at that kind of rate. Room like that is not really room. It just looks like it, for a while. Claire assumed the bank kept raising her limit because she was doing well, because someone, somewhere, had checked. So it is worth asking what these increases are actually based on. First, the scale. There are around 37 million active credit card accounts in the UK. Between them, they carry about £66.5 billion. Claire's statement is one drop in that. And within those millions of accounts, the regulator has a name for what happened to her: persistent debt. The definition is precise. Over 18 months, you pay more in interest, fees, and charges than you repay of the actual debt. That is it. Not missing payments, not defaulting. Paying reliably in a way that mostly feeds the interest. In the regulator's most recent survey, 2.8 million adults in the UK were in persistent credit card debt. 1 in 20. And that number was slightly higher than 2 years before. Claire has met that definition for more than 3 years, while being, on paper, an ideal customer. Now, the part Claire didn't know. Before the rules changed, the regulator reviewed the evidence on credit limits. The research it relied on found something uncomfortable. When a credit limit goes up, the debt tends to rise with it. Roughly 10 to 14% of the new room becomes new borrowing. and the effect holds whether the customer asked for the increase or not. It is strongest for people already close to their limit. The debt follows the ceiling, whether you asked or not. Claire's limit did not rise 5 times because she was doing well, and it did not rise because she was careless. Her bank never said why. But the evidence is clear about what usually happens next. The ceiling moves, and for most people, the balance quietly moves up after it. The regulator saw that evidence. It is part of the reason the rules changed in 2018. Those rules are real, and they exist right now. Since 2018, credit card customers have been able to opt out of automatic credit limit increases. Anyone in persistent debt for 12 months is not offered an increase at all. When the rules came in, the regulator expected that protection alone to keep offers away from around 1.4 million accounts a year. And if you stay in persistent debt, the bank is required to contact you. At 18 months, at 27 months, and at 36 months, it has to offer you a realistic way to repay faster. If you can't afford that, it has to consider reducing, waiving, or cancelling interest and charges. Claire had been a customer for 6 years. She knew none of this existed. Nobody hid it from her. But nobody made it feel necessary either. The letters that mattered always opened with congratulations. So if your own limit has been climbing on its own and the balance has climbed with it, this is the thing to hold on to. What you are feeling is not a personal failing. It is a mechanism, working the way the evidence said it would. A ceiling that rises on its own is easy to stop noticing. Most people do. Which leaves one question. The ceiling has always been the bank's number. What's yours? If any of this sounds familiar, there is one realistic move. Contact your bank by phone or in the app and ask to opt out of automatic credit limit increases. That option has existed since 2018. This doesn't repay anything. It doesn't need to. The drift needed a moving ceiling. From today, the ceiling only moves if you ask. And if the balance underneath feels heavy, you don't have to work it out alone. Money Helper is free, confidential, and backed by the government. Their debt advice locator can connect you with real help. Online, by phone, or face-to-face. Claire made the call on a Tuesday lunch break. The opt-out took 4 minutes. The balance is still there, but for the first time in 6 years, the ceiling is hers. If this helped, you can subscribe for more calm explanations like this.